813,000 miles. That's not a typo. That's the odometer reading on a Toyota that still runs. Same engine, never rebuilt, never swapped, just driven, maintained, and treated with a level of respect that most car owners never bother to learn. And here's what makes that number uncomfortable. The average Toyota on American roads is scrapped somewhere between 150,000 and 200,000 miles. Most never see 300,000, a handful make it past 400,000, and almost nobody crosses 500,000. So what is the difference between the Toyota that dies at 180,000 miles and the one that's still running at 800,000? Is it luck? Is it the model? Is it where you live? It's none of those things. After going deep into documented high-mileage Toyota cases, mechanic interviews, and real failure data pulled from owner communities with hundreds of thousands of members, I can tell you exactly what separates the Toyotas that die early from the ones that seem to run forever. There are 5 specific reasons Toyotas fail before their time, and every single one of them is avoidable. The number one killer on this list is something that almost every Toyota owner is doing wrong right now, including people who think they're doing everything right. We'll get there. Before we get into the list, let me set the foundation. Toyota's reputation for reliability is not marketing, it's engineering. The fundamental architecture of Toyota engines, particularly their 4-cylinder and inline-6 platforms, features tighter manufacturing tolerances, more conservative redline limits, and longer-rated oil film durability than most competitors at similar price points. Toyota's own internal quality benchmark, what they call the Toyota Production System, mandates zero-defect manufacturing at a level that most Western automakers only partially replicate. That's not a promotional claim. It's the reason Toyota has consistently ranked at the top of long-term reliability studies conducted by independent research organizations for over 2 decades. But here's the thing, that engineering only protects you if you hold up your end of the deal, and most Toyota owners don't. Not because they're careless, but because nobody ever told them exactly what a Toyota needs to reach its potential. These 5 reasons will change how you maintain every Toyota you ever own. Reason 5, coolant neglect, the slow killer. Most Toyota owners check their oil religiously. Almost none of them think about coolant until something goes wrong, and by then, the damage is already done. Here's what's actually happening inside your cooling system over time. Coolant doesn't just transfer heat, it also contains corrosion inhibitors that protect the aluminum components in your engine. Aluminum is lightweight and efficient, but it is chemically reactive. It will corrode when the protective additives in your coolant break down. Toyota's own specification calls for coolant replacement at 100,000 miles on the first interval, then every 50,000 miles after that. The majority of Toyota owners on the road today have never changed their coolant once. Some of them have vehicles approaching 150,000 miles running on factory-fill fluid that is now acidic. Coolant is reason 5. Reason 4 is something most people think they're already handling correctly. They're not. Reason 4, the oil change interval trap. How often do you change your oil? Whatever number just came to your head, keep it there. The modern automotive industry has been engaged in a slow, well-documented push toward extended oil change intervals. 7,500 miles, 10,000 miles. Some manufacturer recommendations now stretch to 15,000 miles with synthetic oil. And for many modern engines, those extended intervals are genuinely fine. Toyota engines are not those engines. Toyota 4-cylinder and V6 platforms are engineered to tight tolerances. That's what makes them durable. But tight tolerances means smaller oil passages, which means oil breakdown, particularly during short-trip city driving, degrades protection faster than in a looser tolerance engine designed for longer drain intervals. The 800,000-mile Toyotas that have been documented in detail share one universal trait. Oil changed every 5,000 miles or less using full synthetic rated to Toyota's WS or GF5 or GF6 specification, without exception. Reason 3. Ignoring the transmission, Toyota's quiet weak spot. Toyota makes exceptional engines. Their automatic transmissions, particularly the 4-speed and 5-speed units in models produced between 2003 and 2013, are not where they put the same engineering emphasis. And the maintenance protocol for those transmissions is where most owners fall into a trap. Toyota's official position on many of these transmissions was that the fluid was lifetime fill, meaning theoretically you never need to change it. Thousands of Toyota owners took that advice at face value. Many of them have regretted it. Independent transmission specialists have documented a consistent pattern. Toyota automatics running on original factory fluid past 80,000 miles show measurably higher wear on friction clutch packs and solenoid bodies than identical transmissions where fluid was changed at 60,000 to 80,000 mile intervals. The lifetime fill designation was always a compromise between engineering reality and marketing convenience. Lifetime in that context means the lifetime of the warranty, not the lifetime of the vehicle. We're in the top two now. These are the reasons that genuinely separate the 300,000-mile Toyotas from the ones still running at 800,000. Stay with me, real quick. If you're getting value from this, we put out content like this every week. Undervalued cars, maintenance deep dives, and the information dealers and manufacturers hope you never find out. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you catch everyone. Takes 2 seconds and it might save you thousands. Back to it. Reason 2. Deferred maintenance compounding. This one is less about a single part and more about a pattern. And it's the pattern that kills more Toyotas than any individual component failure. Here's how it works. An owner skips a coolant flush because the car is running fine. Then they push the oil change a little past due. Then the air filter goes a few thousand miles longer than it should. Then they notice a small fluid leak, nothing major, and decide to monitor it. Then the brake pads get a little low, but the car stops fine, so it waits another month. Each individual decision seems reasonable. The car is running. Nothing catastrophic has happened. But here's what is actually happening under the hood. Deferred maintenance items compound. Dirty oil accelerates wear in the valve train. A neglected air filter raises intake temperatures. An unchecked fluid leak drops pressure in a critical system. And then something fails, and the bill is large. What owners of 800,000-mile Toyotas describe is not extraordinary dedication, it's just consistency. They don't skip intervals, they don't monitor warning signs, they address small things before those small things become expensive things. The car is maintained on a schedule, and the schedule is non-negotiable. Think about that number. Every $100 you skip in maintenance statistically costs you $450 in repairs. Toyotas are extraordinarily forgiving of a lot of things. Consistent neglect is not one of them. Reason 1. Heat management, the ultimate determinant. And here it is, the single most common thread running through every Toyota engine failure I've ever researched. And the single most common thread running through every documented high-mileage Toyota that beat the odds. Heat management. Not just overheating, because most owners know to pull over when the temperature gauge goes red. I'm talking about chronic low-grade thermal stress, the kind that happens when an engine runs just slightly hotter than its design temperature day after day, year after year. Thermal stress degrades rubber seals. It oxidizes oil faster. It accelerates wear on piston rings. It fatigues gasket material. It warps cylinder head surfaces by microscopic amounts that accumulate over time. None of these effects are dramatic on their own. Over 200,000 miles, they are decisive. What causes chronic thermal stress? 4 specific things. A degraded thermostat that keeps the engine running cool but never lets it reach full operating temperature, which prevents efficient combustion. A partially blocked radiator from never being flushed. A coolant system with air pockets from an improper refill procedure. And crucially, a serpentine belt or water pump that's running at the edge of its service life, circulating coolant less efficiently than it should. The 800,000-mile Toyotas run cool. They have clean coolant, they have functioning thermostats, they have recently serviced water pumps, they never run hot. Not once. Not ever. Because the owners of those vehicles understood something most people don't. Heat is the enemy. Every other maintenance item on this list ultimately comes back to managing thermal stress. Clean oil manages heat in the engine. Fresh transmission fluid manages heat in the gearbox. Proper coolant manages heat in the block. This is not a coincidence. The Toyota that hits 800,000 miles is not lucky. It is thermally disciplined. So let's bring this together. If you want your Toyota to be one of the ones that defies the average, here is the maintenance protocol that the data consistently points to. Every 5,000 miles, full synthetic oil change, Toyota spec rated fluid only. Check coolant level and color. Inspect air filter. Every 30,000 miles, replace engine air filter. Inspect brake pads and rotors. Check all fluid levels, including power steering and brake fluid. Every 60,000 miles, transmission, fluid drain and fill with Toyota WS fluid. Inspect all drive belts for cracking or glazing. Replace spark plugs on schedule. Every 90,000 miles, coolant system flush with Toyota SLLC pink coolant, water pump inspection, and proactive replacement if approaching original. Timing belt replacement if applicable to your model. Every temperature warning, leak, or unusual sound, address immediately. Not next week, not when you have time, now. That is the entire protocol. It is not complicated. It is not expensive relative to the cost of engine or transmission failure. And it is the closest thing to a guarantee that exists in the automotive world. The average car on American roads lasts 12 years and around 150,000 miles. The average Toyota, when maintained properly, is built to run 2 to 3 times that. The engineers who designed these vehicles put that capability into the metal. Whether you unlock it or leave it on the table is entirely up to you. 800,000 miles is not magic. It's maintenance. Consistent, informed, on-schedule maintenance applied to an engine that was built to reward exactly that. If your Toyota is sitting in your driveway right now, go check the date on your coolant. Check how long it's been since your transmission fluid was touched. Find out when your water pump was last inspected, because the decisions you make in the next 30 days determine which side of that 300,000-mile line your vehicle ends up on. If this gave you something actionable, subscribe. We break down the real maintenance and ownership information that adds years and hundreds of thousands of miles to the vehicles you already own. New video every week. And if you want to know which used Toyotas you should be buying right now before everyone else figures out they're underpriced, that video is right here. It's one of the most important ones we've made. See you there.